on Chick Smooth. My man Chick Smooth is in here. Chicks, I want to be on Chick Smooth shit tomorrow.
Hold
Gotta
on, Ace.
control
Hold
the
on, Ace. Let
conversation
Dre
based
Dre.
on what makes academic comfortable for him to stay, then it's not a real
Nah, we
No, no,
conversation,
no,
Dre
bro.
Dre
no.
Dre
Hold
It's
on,
Dre.
hold on.
not.
He
No, no, no,
not gonna.
no, no.
If we gon'
No, no, no. You
I'm
got to be
never
fair. You
gonna
got to
be,
be
hold
fair.
on, facts.
No,
Listen,
no.
I'm
Don't
never
cater to
gonna
me.
be disrespectful. But if we gonna have a real conversation, let's have it. If we not directly involved, we can't validate what's real or not
All
based
right,
on
so
somebody else's lyrics. We can't do that. So for us to say like we literally protesting that is real and valid and we not involved, that's foul.
All right, hold on.
Now
Let
my
me ask you a direct question. That's what I was talking about accountability. All right, so Dirk dropped the song "Should Have Ducked." They arrested a bunch of niggas who used to be around him or were around him yesterday for that nigga's murder. Do you think that the media now is saying, "Well, 2 + 2 is 4"? Do you think that? Oh, nobody knew about that shit? You tell me. We having a real conversation, right?
I hear
So
you. I'm
if
sorry.
a
What did
media
you say? I'm
outlet, if a
sorry.
media outlet now connects and be like, well, blah blah blah. You're saying that we don't know, like because we ain't really blah blah. We don't know who's talking about what. I'm saying there's times you clearly see, like for example, yesterday, you get to see at least based on the fucking indictment that came down from the feds, right? Not all them lyrics was just coincidence. It probably was something to it. There was probably an issue there. So now when the media then either brings it up, is the media inciting or they're actually just reporting and actually going off what seems to be factual?
So you said probably issues there. Probably is in fact.
Oh my.
So the media has a responsibility to report facts. Now a blogger can just report their opinion, but if you're gonna accept the responsibility of representing this media, then you should also want to make sure that what you drop is facts. Because I don't really understand why Dirk was even ever mentioned in the video that you posted regarding people being indicted by the feds with O Block because he wasn't in the paperwork and he didn't get arrested. And mentioning him
all
does
right,
correlate
Juju.
him with that situation.
All right.
Juju, let him answer.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Right. So you got to add context. Like first of all, you know the regular casual rap fan, and I've seen his even his stature going up in the last couple months. He signed a deal with Empire. Muwap. Muwap is someone who was around, at least from what I know. He was around. He got a deal because of King Von. King Von obviously was an artist that Dirk helped put on. Then we have again, you're making the way you're acting with this blissful ignorance is almost making it seem like I'm some like like I'm doing like some crazy math, but it's not speculation that the last couple on tour, Moonwalk was there. Like so again, when I'm trying to explain to an audience, nobody said Dirk did anything. But if you think, just like if somebody hangs around, you might not have to have like an official title, but if you hang around or you're rolling around with a particular artist, when the media reports that, I don't know, you get into whatever, they might be like, oh, this is an affiliate of blah blah. Haven't we seen that many times? Is that incorrect to say? Is that like now getting into people's business, or is that just factual reporting? So someone who clearly, and by the way, go look on YouTube. There's hundreds of videos. Go look at Dirk's like all Dirk's performances from the last like year. You're gonna see a lot on stage. Moonwap is there with them. That's the dude who got indicted for another artist in Chicago's death. Nobody mentioned to say Dirk did nothing, right? But who is the guy Muwa? It's just simply association. Because truth be told, maybe more people know FBG Duck than the individual Muwa. But again, it's just saying, yo, he rolled with Dirk and him. Like, I don't think that's like, really, oh, you're speculating. Why'd you have to bring his? It would be different if I was like, oh, if I was either sending clear hints, making assumptions like, oh, Dirk is my no. These are people who just been associated with Dirk. That's how the general public, at least in a hip hop media atmosphere, would know who Muwap is. Muwap does not have.
Understandable, but academic, you went further than just creating an association. You also was sure to include that Dirk lyrics was reflective of what's actually happening in O Block right now, even though Dirk didn't get arrested. Like, so I'm not understanding why what they going through is reflective of what Dirk rapping about. They disassociated, but it's like you tying them in together. That's going a step further than just, yeah, they hang out. It's going further than that.
Now, I don't think I'm tying them into anything when I just point out the simple fact, which I like. Again, I am all the way down with just sitting here and doing the blissful
Yeah.
ignorance stuff, act like we don't. But Dirk been hold on.
Nah, hold
If
on, hold
if
on,
if
hold on.
if Dirk been dissing, uh, Dirk been dissing Duck for a minute. Like if that is like, oh my god, I cracked some code. Well, god damn it, I must be the best. I must be the best internet detective ever. You know what I
All
mean?
right, all right. We
And by
gonna
the
get
way,
we.
hold on, wait. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you
Um,
good.
the reason why I also brought that up because when it's also to give context, right? Because really, and I don't know if I necessarily spelled it out in in that particular video, but it was really to say that when it comes to accountability, when academics is in this room, y'all be like, "Yo, act, you're inciting this, you're doing this." Nobody ever blamed the people who allegedly pulled the trigger. I've never heard somebody say, "Yo, if he did that shit, man, I can't rock with him no more. I can't." I never heard that ever. Okay, but beyond that, it's like when you listen to, and I don't know if y'all take time, like, because as you said, I should be doing my homework and I'm in the media. I do. So when number one, I got to read, I'm going to make an effort to read every page of every indictment, listen to what the FBI said, how they solved this, whatever. And you know what they said? We got the information from this music. They didn't say we got it from academics. The guys who are involved with this are telling us who they don't like, who they're gonna do a revenge act of violence against. They're literally spelling it out for us. And you know what we do? We go to Chicago drill music. I didn't say that. The guy sit up on a podium with an FBI big logo while he's over here basking in his success, I guess, in him making an arrest. And he's saying it that listen, he's getting it from the music. So again, you might say, "Oh, I don't know what he's talking about." The FBI clearly does. They literally said it. We got it from the music. So again, when that context is covered, that yes, like I'm not breaking down nothing that ain't publicly available. These ain't songs I'm leaking. There's songs that even in the title, it basically is playing around or poking fun at other people. I
So
mean,
can I ask a question?
Wait.
Wait.
Before you go, right? And I wanted to ask this earlier. So, all right, I understand you're reporting on things that you say or may not be public knowledge, right? I'm just leaving it in the air, right? So, when you do report these things and you do kind of connect things, you don't feel like that may be helping the outsiders a little bit more when you do connect certain things or put things with other things.
let K do.
Nah.
I'll give a quick answer to that because I know I could get long winded. No, I really don't think the level of me breaking down or analyzing or even reporting is ever bringing no new information to light. Like I'm telling you, like and I don't want to put this other individual, in the crossfire, nothing like that. Like, man, as much flack as people have like given me for one of the first time I came on Clubhouse, they basically like attributed the entire crime rate to me. Yo, Ack, you did this. You gave niggas nicknames. You incite everything. You got these little kids feeling they got to kill niggas to get on your page. And the funny part about it was like, honestly, like I'm still learning this year who's really still into it or who's into it with who. Like, I don't really, I never claimed to be an expert on this. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm finding stuff out. Like, there's other channels that are on YouTube that they got this shit down to a science. You get me? Like, again, I've never went that far. I've only covered, okay, all right, somebody passed away, the police made an arrest. Okay, let's just talk about what the police have, and I'm gonna give some context to it. But it's never like, okay, cool, and obviously sometimes I might be like, well, like for example, it could be whatever. I'm like, well, and I'm just use this particular situation. I'm like, well, which is, by the way, it's completely on 4K surveillance camera, like the whole little Tim King Von thing. The nature of my breakdown when it comes to that is not providing nothing new. Is more of saying, okay, let's have a discussion. Or even when I'm doing a video, I'm kind of having a discussion with myself. I'm like, well, I think this guy might try to go for self defense. That's that's self-explanatory. Like, come on now. Like, I'm not breaking no fucking news.
Can I speak?
Like, again,
Yo, hold on. I need to speak. Yo, Act, you finish that?
yeah, yeah, no, no, I'm done.
I look. I wanted to say something, right? So I want Oreo to speak, but I want to say something. So before you came in the room, this is me, right? I was told, like, um, as a public figure, as a media outlet, as a personality, because of your following, and this is not just to you, this is in general, you can't have an opinion on artists' music because of Jim Jones, because of your statement with Jim Jones and Mano having an album. It was said that you can't have a public opinion on music because you have a following.
God,
Like, how do
that you
you
No,
so
wait, facts,
wait,
facts.
controversial.
That's not what was
wait,
said. What
hold
was said
on.
was is how he delivered it. It's not is
Yo, let me speak, please. How do you feel about that?
I mean, are you saying because we have a platform, or because I'm in the media I can't have? Nah, I don't. Obviously, that's BS. You know what I mean? Again, I just go back to what I said about, by the way, these artists I'm mentioning, I'm not mentioning them because I don't like them. I enjoy their music very thoroughly, whether I come from those backgrounds or not. I'm like, there is, and it's a double-edged sword, and that's why, like, when I ever came to Clubhouse to have real conversation, it's about the hypocrisy we all share. Because truth be told, if somebody's for the persons who are saying, "Well, we don't know what's going on," if a nigga's talking that fake shit, you don't want to hear it. Just like most of y'all, right? I don't know, maybe in this room or not. Y'all wouldn't want to hear 6ix9ine talk about no gangster shit no more because you're gonna say he's a rat, right? Now, the thing is authenticity. It matters, right? And when you look at some of these artists, like, they know it matters, and that's why sometimes I think they take the risk by putting. How many artists got beef that they're not rapping about? Like, I talk to a lot of artists who don't put their actual beefs in music. They don't do it, but some do. Now, when you do that, you're bringing extra visibility of tens of millions of fans, which, by the way, is probably going to turn to streams. So yes, you are getting some kickback, some money, this and third. You're getting hot, but it's going to get a lot of attention from feds. It's you can't have it both ways. So it's one of those things where, like, when you share that information, now people are going to want to know more. I
Yo,
see
do you? Hey,
a lot of these documentary pages popping up on YouTube. You know why niggas is going to Google? Like, it has like almost like 5, 10 million views. There's a few documentaries I've seen a bunch of people
hey,
do.
hey,
I've kind of
facts.
watched a couple of them on Jacksonville beefs among rappers. Before Young and Ace dropped Who Got Smoke, I never even knew that was going on. But he put it out in the music. He put it out dissing actual deceased people, and another nigga who's in his city responded. Now you have the whole world who, okay, the song might be cool or whatever, but they're not gonna just stop as someone was saying, well, we don't know what's going on. Maybe it's true, or maybe no. They now want to know more about it. So now they go on YouTube. They're again, it's fans. It all feeds the same cycle of why people fuck with certain artists. You're usually gonna hear, especially when it comes to like certain type of music, people gonna be like, yo, I fuck with that artist because yo, he real. I feel like he's actually, whatever he says, he's actually living. You know what I mean? So again, it's unreasonable to say people could consume it. You could exploit those things going on around you, but nobody can have an opinion on it. And then everybody has to watch out to make sure, hey, you don't get in trouble for what you have chose to put out on a record. Which, by the way, we're not talking about, and even when, going back to like when I did come in, and I took a lot of accountability for like, the war in Chirac. Definitely certain aspects, definitely the way I went about it. But you know, um, that's a very different time than now. We're talking about niggas who are signed to labels worth billions of dollars with with record with album budgets of millions of dollars, going into studios, flying private jets, and they're talking about beefs. This isn't like some kid who he ain't know, like he just got into some shit with some nigga across town and he don't know how to express himself, so he made some song and it kind of blew up, and then now everybody's using that to kind of be like, well, what you gonna do? Like these are people who they know they gotta heat shit up, they gotta get people talking, and they're saying, what am I gonna do in terms of music to get people talking? I'm gonna go diss the niggas in my city who people know I've been beefing with. And again, to the young lady who said we don't know who beefing with who, trust me, maybe you don't know, but I guarantee I could pick a white kid with a bowl cut out of Montana, and I could ask him name 5 ops of so and so rapper, and they'll name it no problem.
Hey, Facts, check your back.
So
Hey,
was that
I
so?
want.
So academics, was that the motivation behind you mentioning Dirk in the video? Was you trying to get shared responsibility because you feel like everybody look at you and not him? Because he not the only rapper that made diss songs about Dirk, but he was the only one that you mentioned.
Well,
All right,
it was because of, it was clear association. Like, like, he's been on his Instagram. He was at most of his shows. He's been rolling around with him. And again, that's not no secret. You know what I mean? Because people see it like shit. I'll be on Muwa page. I always be seeing posted, like I be on YouTube watching Dirk's performances. Like, and I always be looking like, because Muwa be in the back turned every time Von songs come on or Von tribute songs. I'm Dirk's performance. So like a lot of people knew. But you're right. It's not just Dirk. I love Dirk. Like by the way, me and Dirk, even personally, we've always had a really good relationship. I guess I say it because like a lot of times when it comes to these discussions, we really don't factor in everything, even when it comes to artists. You know what I mean? Again, these artists are far removed from like 2012, where it was just chaotic and trying to make it. These are established veterans in the game with huge budgets who are going into studios, and they're willfully and cognitively making those decisions to say, I'm about to make music that is going to be promoted by a billion dollar company to promote more genocide. You get me?
all right,
Sorry, like,
Akali.
and because of that, like a day like yesterday, I'm not happy, but it is. We have to hold the mirror up sometimes. We got to hold
All
the
right,
mirror up, because if we're gonna have a conversation, I'm always down for the conversation. Let's have the real conversation. So if the real, know what the real conversation probably is, yo, act. Well, when you did a war in Chirac, the way you approached it here, blah blah blah. Look at who you were. Okay, cool. There's accountability to be held that way. I try to, of course, um change shit. I haven't done the one shot, I believe, 4 or 5, probably even 6 years. you know and and I've given, critiques to myself on how I could have either done that better or not be as dismissive, and maybe as, whatever effects you might think it has, which I just personally just don't think it's murder, but I'm not gonna say there was no effects. I could critique myself. The problem starts where everybody says, "Great, we got the scapegoat." End of discussion. Like, and I hate that I'm using Dirk as like one of the examples, because like I really fuck with him and I fuck with his music. But again, you gotta think about time and think about things like this, right? Like a couple months ago, Dirk literally said, "Yo, I'm gonna stop this." And by the way, this was after FBG's mom, who's been mourning for however long for her son, she's saying it. Yo, could you stop? Like, you're rich. Could you stop dissing my dead son, please? Please, could you stop? Dirk at one point, and really, this came off. I got to be honest. It felt like it came off internet pressure a bit, of people saying, yo, come on now, this is bad energy. This is bad energy. Also, we saw his brother pass away. People kept saying it's bad energy. He tweeted out, he said, I'm gonna stop after a certain point. But we also got to keep it honest about the music we're still seeing coming out. The song that dropped today is still talking about spinning and sliding, and still making loose references. Now, again, for the person who thinks I'm just pointing everything out, we'll just act like it's just random stuff. But the energy is still there in the music. It's not like it was a verbal promise, but I think Dirk understands that a lot of, like, Dirk is, to me, is the hottest rapper. I've tweeted out. I said I think Dirk gonna sell 150 first week. When it, there's a type of organic litness you get. Like Baby had it right before he dropped My Turn, where like everybody's fucking with you. You're not too mainstream enough, but like everybody, whether it be just like regular casual fans, street rap fans, everybody fucks with you. Dirk is there right now, and if you ask me, truth be told, I think he knows they gravitate towards tracks like Hellcats and Trackhawks, multiple songs he got with Vom, Back Again, all these niggas should have ducked. You know what I mean? He knows that. Listen, it's a reason why when he previewing music and talking about like yo, when he's previewing music, and this is the only reason why I even mentioned I mentioned on the video. I was like, yo, um, oh yeah, well I guess it was sliding, right? And it was obviously a facetious tongue in cheek comment, but Dirk Dirk acknowledges that the internet been trolling him about that. He dropped the verse literally saying it. He literally dropped the verse saying it. You get me? So like the artists as well, they're so in tune and they're doing this cognizantly. I gotta call BS if you really just think they could wrap it up into just artistic expression at this point for these current artists, and they could just be like, well, I'm just talking the talk, and it's the media and the other people who are looking too much into it causing the problems. Because
Yo,
again, like FBG Duck Mom hit me every 4 hours. Hey, listen, I hit you way back then. My son murders finally got caught. Yo, you've given this dude a platform to diss my son all these years. Why won't you give me a platform that I could speak at? Yeah. So again, it's one of those things where this is accountability I just want everybody to have when y'all have the same energy for me. Let's talk about those situations because again, you don't got to talk about academics. You're right, academics ain't got nothing to do with that. But now you have the mom of a deceased rapper who want to talk about that. Are y'all gonna have those conversations, or are you gonna sweep it under the rug because you know what I mean? It might not favor who you might like. Again, we're not having real, honest discussions.